Let's see. All right, so jumping into the S&P. Why are Oh no. Are these my fakes? All right, so we gapped up right here. This is awkward. Okay, so these zones are not real. They're not real because we haven't got there yet. We're at all-time highs. And I sarcastically, someone said, "Hey, we need new zones. Where should we sell this thing at?" And I sarcastically put these zones on the chart. I was like, "Ah, we'll probably sell off here. We'll probably sell off here. So ignore these for now," which is why they're not filled into yellow. But it is kind of funny that we have a we have a wick right there. Ignore this. I have to delete these because they're just not real. Man, right now we're just kind of trending up. If there is a speed bump zone, middle class says prophetic. You middle class investing, you have no idea because this right here, yeah, it was this zone right here was the exact same thing, and it was just coincidentally end up being the exact top, and I called it out back here. Either that or you control the algos. If you watched me draw these zones out sarcastically before, you would assume I'm controlling the algos. Uh, Will says, "Hello, NASDAQ. I haven't changed the branding yet, but that will be my new name, NASDAQ." Okay, so as far as like drawing out maybe a blue speed bump zone, it's probably a little premature, but we're probably thinking somewhere right there for now. Uh, I wouldn't put a lot of weight on it. If you are scalping in the futures market, sure, it's probably about all I would do. We just kind of went flat there for a little bit, so we'll see. It was the end of the week, not something I'd put a lot of weight on, but nonetheless, we did have kind of that opposing force. Things will continue to go up. Like an object in motion stays in motion, right? Until acted upon by an outside force. That's kind of what the stock market will do. Whether it's a lot of buyers or just zero sellers, that will send things up. So until those sellers do show up, we kind of just continue on this uptrend. So when they do show up, you get this sideways movement. All that tells you they equal out. If it for some reason takes more and tilts the scales, you see a pullback. So that's all I'm doing is kind of watching that and just kind of keeping an eye out because somebody cared about it at these levels. I don't know who, don't know why, and I really don't care. But people do vote with their wallets. And I say this all the time. I have an income bias, not a directional bias. I really don't care why things go up or down. I just know they do, and I'm just going to follow the money that does it because they seem to be doing all right. So for now, we'll keep an eye there. Like I said, we did gap up right here. Won't be much to even fill that. So, but we're definitely on the up and up. I mean, here is Trump being announced president right here, and we've just been. It's like everyone just forgot. Like everyone's like, 2021, that's it. We're here again. Let's do this, and then sends it. He's already given the mentorship the zones for 2025. Listen, you got to pay for that. That's proprietary. All right. And I'll let you know what the algos think later. Now, for everyone that does have my charts, if you're on that Patreon or anything like that, these are updated. These are the expected moves for the week. I will bring it up. Where's that indicator at real quick? This is not an indicator you guys can get. This is somebody inside the group coded for us. So we do have that. I'm just going to bring this up real quick. So IWM 584, QQQ $8.80, SPY 838, Tesla 29.70. Let's see, we got Meta 1836, Microsoft 894, Nvidia 646, Amazon 612, Apple 508, Google 457, Ford 43 cents, Palantir 336, Intel $1.35, AMD 635, and our newest addition, the Dow Jones $6.10. Now that is an up or down basis. That's what market makers have as far as risk, as far as delta hedging goes, they have that accounted for. So when we get outside these levels, it's you, the institutions, and the market makers. And if you don't know the difference in that, then you definitely should follow and stick around so you know what a market maker actually is. And you don't sound like one of those guys like, oh, the market makers are out to get you, because they're not. It's not how it works. Anyway, going over the NASDAQ, a little bit of a gap up again, still all-time highs, still very much in a bullish trend up. I know a lot of people are talking about puts, and the day Tesla has a red day, NASDAQ's could be in trouble. If you look at the Magnificent Seven, all red on Friday, except for who? Tesla. Tesla single-handedly carried the NASDAQ up, and I did take an L because I sold some 510, 512 call spreads on the QQQ, so I needed it 510 or below to get 100% play. We didn't get that, so hate that. Let's see. He spilled the secret sauce. um, man, so we will break down Tesla here in a second because there is zones above. We're not there yet. Unbelievable, right? We need to get Tesla needs to pull back. So we'll see. Honestly, if I take a trade or tell you guys I'm taking a trade, it's not that I will beat a dead horse. I don't know why people beat dead horses. Whatever that saying is, it's because I will take that trade 100 out of 100 times. Okay, there are some one-offs where I'm like, let's see what we got. It's never anything, whether I'm right or wrong. It could be a jackpot home run winner, and it's one of those. And if you're taking these plays, you guys have to recognize, like, man, that was just luck. I couldn't repeat that. There's no sense in bragging about it, but you're just feeling froggy that day. You took a play, it happened to pan out. Outside of that, every trade I take is something. If I see that situation, I'll take it every time. So if we do jump up again, if we get to that 1.5 standard deviation mark, I'm probably gonna sell some call spreads again. On every metric, we're kind of overbought. Uh, but man, so it's actually out of the book Reminiscence of a Stock Trader. Um, so I'm reading that, and they actually did. There's a quote in there. It says there, it's never too high to buy the stock, and it's never too low to sell the stock. And that really just rang a bell because some people think it's over. I just said it's overbought on a lot of metrics. I think it is. That doesn't mean absolute jack. Well, when it comes down to it, if it hasn't hit zero, it can still go to zero. Unfortunately, there is no limit to how high things can go, so it can keep going. And I know a lot of you guys have heard the saying, it can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And you want to make sure when you're catching the knife, going against the grain, you can die death of 1,000 cuts even if you keep it small. So you want to make sure you're at least keeping it small, but also you want to have some rules. How many cuts do you want to take before you're like, enough is enough? Paper cuts suck. One or two, not bad. Imagine a whole armful of paper cuts. That would hurt. That would be like a living. I don't cuss on this channel. You can guess the word. It would not be fun. In this market, now, I do have a long position. Deltas wise, ultimately, I'm very long, and my portfolio going up a lot. In my trading account, though, I don't want to say there's FOMO, but I should have more Tesla. Uh, so while I'm waiting for the dip buy, because I don't care how high it goes, we're looking at the Qs right now. It's at 514. I would rather it push up to 550, pull back to 530, and buy it there than buy right now at 514. I need that kind of structure. So if I don't have that, I'm just kind of waiting. So I am, in the meantime, kind of just knife catching. If we get a little bit up, and I think we're getting a little crazy, maybe market makers are going to rein it back in. If you don't understand that play, please don't take it. I'm taking those plays for now. Until I get the dip buy, then I'm going to be on the gain train. I don't like buying the peaks. And if I buy the dip and it just keeps dipping, the literal worst case scenario is I bought the top of the market. And then it crashes and goes forever. But that's what stops are for, right? So I'll take a loss there and we'll just move on. If you think losses aren't part of the game, and I know everyone says that, oh, losing's part of the game, your actions do need to reflect that. People will repeat that to me. And at the same time, they'll message me and say, hey, I'm in this. What should I do? It's just trending down, trending down, trending down. I'm like, oh, why didn't you sell? It's like, well, I wanted to wait for it to recover so I could be green first. Like, so you're telling me you've never taken a loss your entire life and you're just never going to take a loss? That's how you lose your whole account. Moving on to the Dow. We are probably going to if it wasn't for Tom Lee, we probably wouldn't be talking about the Russell right now. The Dow is at least red right now. Look at that thing. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. JK, false alarm. Now, that did have a gap up just like all the others. I know some of you guys probably don't know what a gap actually means. You're thinking, that's not a gap. It's not in your little brain. But we actually closed right here, gapped up, and opened right here. So that still technically is a gap. Again, on the up and up, we have the NVIDIA, everybody's favorite, joining this. So as you can see, NVIDIA will just start pushing this around, I'm going to do a request for a meme coin today. Is that allowed? Sure. Tesla appearance in the growth count soon. When Tesla pulls back, it will be in the growth count. I am too bullish not to have Tesla in every account of mine. Again, there needs to be some structure. Hang on real quick.